Maybe it's time to draw boundaries with my boyfriend and his coworker who he got close to very quickly. Update. A lot has happened since my last post, and I got some good advice there, so I wanted to post an update. After I made the last post, I came home from the trip with my family a couple of days later. I told my boyfriend that I wanted to talk to him about something, and I brought up his friendship with Liz. I basically brought up all of my concerns from the post. I told him that I didn't want to discourage him from having a friend, but I also felt like they were talking quite a lot and spending a lot of time together, and that it was starting to make me feel uncomfortable. My boyfriend took it really well. He immediately reassured me that he only saw her as a friend, and that he hadn't even realized how it could look to me. When I brought up how I felt like he wasn't being forthcoming with information, like how he didn't mention a phone call from her, he said that was 100% unintentional. He then immediately asked what he could do going forward to make me feel more comfortable. He offered to stop carpooling with her and to cut down on contact with her except for work-related stuff. I told him I didn't have a problem with the carpooling because financially it does make sense. He spends a lot of money on gas, but maybe he could try to text and call her outside of work a little bit less. I also told him I would really love to meet her and her fiance, and he enthusiastically agreed. He set up a hangout for the following weekend. The two of us and Liz and her fiance all went out for drinks at a bar by our building. We moved in by now. It was actually really fun. It turns out we all have a ton in common. Liz and I do very similar work, and we all have common nerdy interests. It was a little awkward at first, as meeting new people often is, but once we all got comfortable we had a blast. From there, we have all become fast friends, and Liz and I have developed our own separate friendship too. We text often, go over to each other's places for dinner sometimes, and hang out on weekends. I can honestly say I really like Liz and her fiance as a person and trust her 100%. I no longer have a problem with her friendship with my boyfriend at all. They do still carpool sometimes, but they've never hung out alone outside of work. It's always the four of us. I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Finally, I have a separate, but slightly related, update. My boyfriend is now my fiance. Less than a month after I made my last post, he took me out for a really beautiful and romantic dinner. When we came home, our apartment was covered in roses and candles. I was so shocked I could barely move as he got down on one knee and proposed. I said yes, and then cried for about 2 hours as we called all of our friends and family. It was absolutely perfect, and we are getting married next year. It turns out that Liz actually helped him plan the proposal, and that was part of why they were talking a lot too. Since she lives in our building now, he had all of the flowers, candles, champagne, and accessories shipped to her and kept at her place until he was ready for them. He even had her hold on to the ring the week before he did it. After he proposed, she came upstairs and took photos for us and cried with us. That was the moment I realized what a great friend she is to both of us. So communication saves the day again. We're all great friends now, and Liz and I have regular girls' nights to plan our weddings together. Reddit comments. This is the kind of stuff I'm here for. I'm so glad the situation was resolved healthily, and congrats on the engagement. Such a wonderful update. This should be the standard post that shows how you're so can have a friendship of the opposite gender and there's nothing going on because all parties involved are open, upfront and transparent about everything. My husband and I each have opposite gender friends, and this is exactly how we are. We are all open with each other. We all are friends. There's no hiding people or acting odd about it or making excuses or unfriendliness. I have a slightly different view. People who don't believe in opposite gender friendship simply don't understand why someone would put effort in maintaining a relationship with someone without the prospect of wanting make love with them. To me, it seems that it stems either from past frustrations about friends who ended up becoming crushes but nothing more, or from partners who were supposedly having a friendship with someone else and cheated with It makes them unconsciously push for new communication standards. If you're maintaining a relationship with me, I will assume you're interested in making love with me. Otherwise, you're playing me, which makes you a bad person. It's all about making sense of the past and enforcing new rules that prevents heartache in the future. People are allowed to have friends of every type. It becomes a problem when someone uses the term friend to hide less than okay or downright cheating behaviors. And someone who is above board like Op and her boyfriend won't have that problem because there simply isn't anything to hide. Case in point, my husband has a former girlfriend who he stayed close friends with. He has lots of female friends, in fact, some of them old lovers. I never once felt threatened by any of them because he was so open about me to them, and they were always welcoming to me. In fact, 2 of them are my close friends now, as well as one of their husbands, the other single, so I know it can be done. And it's nice to see Op's post, which once again also reminds us in any good relationship communication is key. The most important part of this post to me isn't so much that it's okay to have friends of the opposite gender, it's that healthy communication and respecting and trusting each other without jumping to conclusions is incredibly important for relationship problem solving. Could imagine how bad it would have been if you found out about him sending her flowers and champagne and even a ring to her before speaking to him and sorting this out. Lol. OMG, Op would have set the building on fire. Oh my god, I need that post. I discovered that my boyfriend has been flowers and champagne to his coworker who he's been getting really close with. I have no idea what to do. Would be just right for this sub. Oh my, this made me tear up as well. Especially the part about him hiding all the proposal surprises at her place. You've got yourself a keeper. Listened to your concerns, validated your feelings, offered to take action to assuage your worries, and you got a good girlfriend out of it. One of the best updates I've read. Okay, in all seriousness, I didn't relax reading this until you talked about the proposal. I mean, I'm super ecstatic for you, Op. It genuinely sounds like a case of good communication and compromise, and I wish you the best. However, my heart was so low through the entire post. BC, I was in a situation with an ex that was identical from an outside perspective. He made quick friends with some other girl and spent a lot of time with her, so I compromised by also becoming close friends with her and her boyfriend to get rid of my anxiety. Turned out that he actually was cheating on me for a full year with her, starting on the day they met, which was also my first Valentine's Day with that ex. Anyway, I'm glad it worked out here. It actually makes me feel a lot better, because maybe now I won't be so quick to assume the worst when I hear about situations like this. I find it a little odd that he started talking to and about her a month ago, but is good enough friends to plan his proposal with her and have the stuff sent to her house. Opposite gender or not, I wouldn't trust just anyone with expensive and important items like that. I'm cynical though. Congratulations on your engagement, and I'm glad it worked out for you, Op. Oh, we've all joked that she replaced my ring with fake diamonds, and she and her fiance are going to take off to Mexico. It was definitely a lot of trust, but he needed help and hey, she was there. Luckily it was all sincere, though maybe I should go get this ring appraised. This is nice. For the longest time, I was so against having friends of the opposite gender. TBH, I still don't quite understand friendships with past exes. Anyway, at my last job, I met a guy and we became friends. There has never been romantic feelings. We both like to cook and garden, so we became friends because of our interests. Like any other friend I have, we text every once in a while and hang out every few weeks. It's never weird. I always feel awkward with my husband about that, as he's the only one that's working right now. He's bound to connect with work friends. One of his closest is a female around our age, who just recently got engaged. He told me about their friendship as soon as it began, but still, I actually feel kinda jealous about the connection that they have versus the connection that I have with my husband. We have a game night every other week and I've met both her and her fiance, but still, it's always going to be in the back of my head, you know? I'm not sure if it's been said yet, but your common interests and quick friendship with Liz is probably why your fiance developed such a strong friendship with her in the first place. He probably saw a lot of you in her which made him trust and like her inherently. This obviously could have gone wrong, but in this case I would take it as a very good sign about who you are and how fiance sees you. Comment and subscribe.